Are we in?
I think we're live.
Sweet. What's up, everybody?
I don't know. Do we know how many people are here so far, Megan? Do we ever know that?
If I go over to YouTube, I think I can tell. Oh yeah, 38.
Okay.
We're climbing here.
Okay. So there's some people here already, right?
Scott Brown says he's been here since 2:30 this afternoon.
Just
Not good. Hello, everybody. We'll give everybody a few minutes to pop in, and then we'll do some intros. Where do you see the number at?
See where it says live, 45 seconds, 46. Okay. How long? There's a little eye symbol. It says how many eyes are on it.
Where? Oh, okay. I see it now. I forget what's show comments on the stage. Oh no, that's like for everybody else to see comments. We don't want to everybody. Yeah. All right.
Oh, there's Eric Canetti.
Is Eric in here? Hey, Eric.
I was just showing off your artwork, Eric.
Yeah, we were just talking about you.
So
Eric.
Fun.
Yeah.
Eric's the man.
He is the man. Well, we got a nice little crowd over here in the first minute. That's awesome.
They'll vanish as soon as I start talking. So.
I see lots and lots of people from the Facebook group. Hey, Dustin. Hey, Tyler. Hey, Daniel.
All you regulars, can everybody give us a thumbs up if you guys can hear Megan and I okay? I want to make sure the mic between us is actually picking up both of us okay. Calvin said thumbs up.
Seth already wins comment of the night. He said, who are these dudes on with Megan?
I said, what'd I tell you, Derek?
Who are these scumbags?
Yeah. All right. Everybody's saying that it sounds great. That's good. You guys don't realize that we pretty much plug things in and do things, and like we're still logging in about 48 seconds before we went live. So,
well, remember I closed my whole camera down a second ago. So,
and then Derek just vanished right as I was like, "You guys ready to go live?"
I'm useless.
All right, everybody, we'll get started. We have our friend and artist extraordinaire Derek Laufman here.
Woohoo!
What's up, everybody?
You guys know Megan, and hopefully you know me. For those of you who might not know Megan, I always assume that everybody's been around for a long time, but there might be newbies.
People think, yeah.
So Megan we have labeled her Chief Boss Operator. That's our new company titles.
It's good.
So she runs the ship around here and comes up with all the spiffy ideas to share with you guys to get you guys stuff, and makes me stop talking and work more.
I do.
And for those who don't know, that might be popping in. Most of you know Derek because he is more popular than me. And if you don't know, he's got a ton of books of his own, ton of work of his own, but he is the new regular series artist on I Hate Fairyland. And it is fucking awesome.
You know what?
Out tomorrow.
It's literally like I've been telling people. I was just at TCAF and a lot of people ask me about it, and I'm like, it's like the best job in comics. Like honestly, it's like I couldn't like. Everyone was like jealous, and they all like, oh, I wish I could have that gig. Like it's the most fun. Like find another comics that's this fun, and I get to draw. Like it's like I feel like I don't deserve it.
Well, thanks.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like. Somebody pinch me.
Well, I appreciate that. And it's good to hear because was always my dream, was to make comics that are just fun. Like sometimes I think we take ourselves very serious and overthink everything, and we're so heavy, and I do some of those books as well. But Fairyland to me is always a book that we're supposed to just whatever floats our boat right there at that minute. Like let's make that book.
Watching you guys team up from the get-go, just you synced from the start.
Oh yeah,
Skottie was super excited every day, every email that Derek sends over. You were
like, look at this eyeball I drew. Look at this. I'm gonna go and let everybody know, just to let Megan and I off the hook on this. We are literally across the table from each other. So if everybody sees us looking
I
up,
start talking like this.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
if people see us looking up, it's just
I'll
that we're looking across the
try to
table.
look at the camera.
And I'm drawing, so you're gonna look at the top of my head.
Yeah, we get Derek's head.
What are you drawing tonight, Derek?
Okay, so this is a page from issue 43 that's coming out in August.
There's gonna be some spoilers in here tonight.
A little bit. I picked a page that like hopefully isn't too spoilery if you don't know what's going on.
I love it.
So, but I'm almost at the end now. I have like 3 pages left, so I figured I would not.
I gotta finish these scripts.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you need.
You are busy.
Yeah,
you are busy.
So yeah, it's 40. This one is awesome. This one's funny. It's food related. It's gonna be a blast.
The thing is, like they're all like just like I couldn't pick a favorite out of the 3 we've done so far. Like they're just all so cool, like in their own way.
Yeah, it's been great to just mine all the ideas and never like not have you feel like we've got to stick in the same storyline or the same design sense or whatever. We just get to run and do whatever. But we do it really hardcore for 20 pages, and then we're like, cool. I don't have to draw a chicken wing again.
Well, you know, like I've been telling people, I'm like, it's awesome to get to do something because I'm the type of person I get a little bored sometimes, like doing the same project. That's why like when I do my own books, I'm bouncing around doing a bunch of different things. And since we're doing these as kind of like one shots, it's a whole new world each kind of time we're like diving in.
Right.
And you know, that comes with challenges, obviously, because I don't get to lean on like the stuff I did prior necessarily. But like at the same time, it's like it keeps me energized and on my toes. So
right,
that's been like really cool. Like right out of the gate, like I don't get a chance to get bored for a second.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I felt the same when I was drawing the series or any series really. I tend to always like to do more old school kind of one shot comics, one and dones or two and dones. You know, because you don't get the chance to just be like, oh, I'm drawing that head again, or I'm doing this again. It really is a fun challenge all the time. And then the cool thing is we can like the old school series like Gru or any of the.
Sorry, I'm still figuring out.
Like Gru and stuff where you could go back to old characters, and that's always been the fun thing so far is figuring out which characters you loved writing and be like, oh well, they're definitely coming back.
Yeah.
Did you have something you're popping up there, Megan?
No, I was just trying to write. You guys give us some questions in the comments as we're talking. I am going to give away 3 signed copies of, this is cover C, Skottie's 1 in 25 cover. I just put these up on the shop today, actually. So if you haven't grabbed one, they're going pretty quick. But I'm going to give away 3 of these tonight.
Well, I was going to put you.
Oh.
I was trying to put you in the main thing.
You're kind of slow.
Well, it didn't pop up, Megan. Don't.
Skottie, I got a question for you. Just
okay.
A little art related here. When you're doing your pages, do you like to do your borders first or last?
Oh, first. Yep. Okay. I do exactly what you're doing. And I'd use that pen and I do it by hand.
Oh, no way. Eh? I was wondering. I thought I think the borders are similar.
Yeah, that's exactly what pen I use. And I do because I like them to be slightly wobbly.
Yep.
I don't want them to be perfect, but yeah, I go through and do all the borders first.
Am I allowed to say what my Easter egg is in issue 41?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Shane asked Megan if there's anything I am excited about in this upcoming run. And there is. There's 2 things, actually. The first one is I got my own little Easter egg in issue 41. And I won't give away much, but boom, page 1 off the bat. There's a Easter egg in here about my dislike of sauce of all kinds, but there are special rules around the sauce. Yeah. Anyway, you guys will get it when you read page 1 and my hate of sauce. So
yeah, one of my things that I love doing is, you know, whenever Gert needs to be having a conversation, needs to feel like somebody would really be having these conversations. And so I do my best to like mine the conversations I have in life or like have her say stuff that's like me. Like a long time ago, many issues ago, she talked about how she never listens when anybody says their name. And she's like, I plan on paying attention, and then I'm only thinking about myself when they say their name, and then I don't, and then I just start calling them things like brother and hey man.
I forget names, and that's like my whole time. If you hear me calling you man, it's not my fault. Like
yeah. And then so Megan's sauce situation is a pretty interesting one that we're constantly learning the ins and outs of what is a sauce, what's not a sauce, what sauces get a pass, what isn't a sauce but she feels like they're a sauce.
I hate gravy except biscuits and gravy is like my favorite food, but I don't put gravy on anything else. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And the second thing I'm excited about is the indicia. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
The indicia page looks like this. Not this issue, but in the next issue 42. Nate Picos whipped up a new our logos now on here. Yeah. But John Young and myself are also listed as our titles with Stupid Fresh Mess. Nice. And Skottie sent that over to us, and that felt like a pretty big deal to me. Yeah. My name's never been on a book before.
Well, so Image puts all their company, all the people that are in that Image in the indicia and who works on everything. And it was Nate's idea. He was like, hey, do you want to put the Stupid Fresh Mess crew in here? I mean, you guys are just as important to making these books as we all are. So I was like, that's an awesome idea. But we did have, we'll save the names, but we did have some fun with our titles.
They're good.
So
good titles.
Hopefully you guys dig those. But all right, looks like people are listening to you and getting some questions in there, Megan.
All right. Let's see. Do either of you have any comics you read regularly, or does creating not afford you that luxury?
Derek, I'm going to let you take this one first.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. I will do a binge. I have a pile over here on my desk that I need to get to, and I just will take a few off the top when I finally get a minute to breathe, or sometimes actually before I'm starting writing a new script or something, I want to refresh and get some just some new ideas maybe stirring in my head. So I'll read through maybe 3 or 4 of them, but I usually just keep a stack of graphic novels because I don't do the singles as much anymore because I just can't make it at the comic shop.
Right.
There's no good comic shop close to me. It's way across town, a half-hour drive, and I just don't make it out very often. So I go with the graphic novel thing, and I just kind of stack them up and try to blast through them when I can.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't read as many ongoing series or singles that much anymore. I still grab graphic novels and trades. I think the last couple single issue series I read was Jason's Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, and usually if Jason has a book come out, we go grab it.
I'm reading Bug Wars right now.
Yeah, but it's not as much. I mean, at the end of the day, by the time I get home and we get the kids eating and everything done, my brain is in a different zone. So I've been trying to read more novels lately, trying to get a little bit more inspired by outside of comic book stuff. Sometimes it's
what's that book you're reading tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. It's a nerd programmer's love story or something. It's really good. So I try to do that. Every day, all day is comics around here, right? I write and draw them. I do covers. Megan and John are selling them, shipping them. I'm out here in the studio signing to, we sign. So it just feels like by the time I get home, I need a little bit of a break from comics.
I can answer this question from Dustin. Will Skottie continually be tricked into doing more ratio covers for this run of I Hate Fairyland? And I tried to trick him the other day, Dustin. I was like, so... you have a cover for 41 and 42, and 42 was actually an accident.
Yeah, it was.
So we tricked him into doing 42, but he won't have a cover.
I will have a cover for 45. I don't know if it's going to be a rate.
I
just came into being because of the guest star character. I was like, I can't not do that cover for that one.
Is this when we switch artists?
Yeah, when Jay Fosgett comes on.
Oh yeah,
Jay Fosgett comes in to give Derek a breather, and we have a pretty fun character guest starring on that one. I was like, well, I've got to draw that character. Just I wasn't going to do 41 or 42 variant, but Image accidentally added me as one but it kind of worked out.
You were so happy with that.
I was like,
you were very pleased with it.
It worked out because I was like, oh, I want to draw Helicorn. So,
I would have been disappointed if you didn't draw Helicorn. So
yeah, so that worked out. So, but that's only the plans now. But we're getting close to 50, so I'll definitely be doing. We got some really cool plans for issue 50.
All right, I just picked our first winner.
Okay.
Random winner is Tyler Ford. Tyler, if you will, I'll put my email address up here. Send me your shipping address. We'll send you out a signed copy of 41.
David Peterson said Fosget's is a great choice, and I couldn't agree more. David and Jay are fellow Michigan neighbors, I believe. But yeah, Jay Fosget's really good. He's a really good cartoonist.
yeah, he's great. Fantastic.
Just his energy and his it's just his squash and stretch is so great. And so yeah, he's excited. We're all excited. I think he's a great person to bounce in and out of Derek's issues. So I'm pretty pumped.
I just did a cover for David Peterson's mouseguard.
Oh, nice. Did I see? I think I may have. Did you show it?
I think I did. It's on my Instagram.
Yeah, I think I did see it then.
Yeah, it was like a dream project as well, just to kind of like touch that. And yeah, just a huge fan of David. So
yeah, David's awesome dude. Mouseguard's amazing. I had the opportunity to write and draw a little 4 or 5 page story back in the day.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, we'll send it over. I think we have it on a Substack somewhere, right? We posted that.
I think so.
The Mouse and the Moon or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're awesome.
Okay, Tyler's question was, how much character creation now goes to Derek? How detailed are you with your character design, Skottie? Like, how does that work when you're like, okay,
here's a new character.
Here's Helicorn.
Yeah, so Helicorn Helicorn is. We'll go with Helicorn, and then we'll talk about this issue or maybe in the previous one. Because Helicorn obviously was like, we're going to do a parody of Hellboy.
Yeah.
We have to make it different enough from Hellboy that Mike doesn't hate us, and which maybe he will. But so that was a little different, right? It's saying here's the unicorn. We kind of just mashed our brains together and whatever. But like, say the issue that he's working on now, or no, let's like at 41. There's there's a couple different characters that I'll go like, oh, a little forest guy comes out and arguing about sauce or whatever, about gravy.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, because we've set this, because I like said, okay, they're in like a forest and we're looking for a tavern. We get to that place, and then I know Derek, I don't need to be like, this character needs to be 2.5 feet tall. He needs to have this. It's more of like just describing a vibe. Like, and because I also know, and I love his work and I'm inspired by it already. So it's easy for me to know where his head will be when I say 4 words versus needing to be over. And also Derek knows, like, it's not fun when somebody tries to drive like the whole time. Like, you want to be, as an artist, you want to be able to have your voice there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I think there's like, that thing where it's just like, we're sort of in sync enough already where I could do like 1 or 2 different passes on something and it'll be close to where you want it to be anyway. So we don't really need to go like back and forth 100 times or anything.
Yeah. Like, the issue that he's working on right now is a very food-based issue. So there's food-based characters. And I wasn't like, there needs to be a donut. There needs to be a blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, this is this. So and I'd be like, blah, 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 like donuts, fruits, dessert, etc., whatever.
Yeah.
That way, and then the other ones were like appetizers. So I was like chicken wings, mozzarella sticks, or whatever, like just wing, whatever, but whatever you consider that, so we don't need to be overly detailed with any of that.
Very cool. We got Skeff on here.
Hey, Skeff.
Hi, Skeff. Skeff is helping us at conventions. If some of you guys were at Planet, you saw him, and almost everybody knows who he is. He's going to be at Heroes with us too.
And so, Derek, do you ink? So that's the zebra brush pen, right? The
yeah
fine one or whatever.
Yeah, I'll link almost with this whole thing for the most part, especially like the smaller detailed panels. Like I find it's just a little more control. I have the Pentel pocket brush, which I'll be using to do like fills.
Yeah.
I'll use it as well, probably like for some of the larger images, but I kind of like, they both kind of have a similar line, like at the end of the day. So it's not like too crazy if I kind of bounce back and forth.
Right.
But sometimes I just, with these tighter ones, I need a little bit more control.
Have you used the size up, the gray barrel one?
No. I think I do have one, but
I dig that one. That one's the closest one to feeling like a pen and a brush at the same time.
Maybe I need to get like more of these. I think this one's almost dry.
Yeah, those are pretty fun. I inked a decent amount. I inked a couple issues here and there of Fairyland with those, with the gray one.
Here's a question. Okay. Do y'all ever geek out around other artists?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Like I met Chris Pacello last year at Heroes. And
is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Pacello. Yeah.
Because my whole life it was like Bacalo.
I straight up asked him, dude.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know because my whole life I've been like.
He said it was like Bach Halo, like Pacello. Yeah, he's one of my favorite artists of all time, and we've talked through email, and we've talked on the phone a few times over the years, and even those had me shook being on the phone. But Heroes last year, like last day, like we're packing up, I think. Mm-hmm. And he was getting ready to leave, and he rolled over and finally introduced himself, and I was definitely a mess.
I was like, "What's going on?"
So, absolutely, I don't think any of us don't get a little shook from meeting the artists that we love, even if I've known him for a long. I mean, I've known Umberto now for probably almost 20 years, but maybe running up to that close. And we've just become better and better friends over the years. And we just did a whole, series over the course of 2 years with Strange Academy. And I still get a little nervous when I'm hanging out. Like, I'm still like, that's Umberto.
It's kind of sweet,
Yeah.
Funny because Eric Kennedy, I don't know if he's still here, but like when I first met him, I was so nervous because I was such a big fan of his. Yeah. And he had approached me at my table at Fan Expo in Toronto. And yeah, it was just like, I don't know if he picked up on it, but I was nervous.
He's probably used to it because I think we all did that the first time that we all met Eric, because I think we all studied his blog for years.
Yeah.
Which you have several of those pieces, it looks like, hanging up in your office from earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Derek, do you listen to a certain type of music?
I do. I'm more of like a punk metal sort of guy. Oh, wow. I like Comeback Kid and Silverstein. Tools have always been a big favorite of mine since I was in high school. I'm just like that's kind of like the music I go to. But like I don't mind like a soundtrack here and there too, like a movie soundtrack. I was listening to the Hateful Eight movie soundtrack the other day, and that was just like put me in a good cowboy mood. So it's just whatever like.
Am I still on here?
Yeah.
Okay. I was clicking buttons. I didn't want to have fucked it up. I thought it was.
You've got a playlist for like every single title you work on, and it seems like.
Yeah, I've started to build a. There's two things. So I have like a full music lyric playlist for things. So like, I Hate Fairyland. I have a playlist of full songs, but I also have an I Hate Fairyland set of scores.
Oh, nice.
For writing. Plotting, I can plot stories with music, like lyrics, but I can't script with like full music. So usually I do movie scores while writing. So like the Me You Love in the Dark, I had a whole instrumental playlist. Ain't No Grave, a whole instrumental Middle West. And each one, because I like to aim the genre at what I'm working on, so the mood is kind of there. Like the Me You Love in the Dark, I wrote fairly quickly over the course of a couple weeks, month or whatever, and I listened to so much creepy, like drony horror music that by the end I was a little disturbed. Like I was like,
put you in a dark place.
Yeah.
This is a big question. I'm not sure if we need a whole show to answer it, but Brock asked, what's the process from script to page? How does Derek know what to put in each box?
Oh, well, yeah, a script is just, I come up with a plot, and that's usually 20, comic book is 20 pages, and I fill out 20 index cards and create a outline of a story. Then I just go up and script it. And the scripts consist of, everybody does scripts different. I write full scripts. So page 1, we'll say page 1, panel 1, and then I'll give a short description of what's in the panel. And then I give the characters dialogue if there is any. And then panel 2, and the same thing, so on and so on. So Derek has that outline. But, again, me being an artist and working with artists that I trust is a big deal, because I can do a lot of heavy lifting in the first couple panels of a scene. And then the rest of it, I don't need to say, on Larry, he looks very disappointed and sad and blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like if I write the dialogue good enough and we set that up in a panel, then, again, Derek knows what to do. Brett knew what to do with the expressions and things like that.
Yeah, so I just want to speak a little bit to like Skottie's writing style, because it's so easy to like read his scripts and just tap right into like what he wants. Like, it's just like you said, like it's like through the dialogue, I know exactly what expressions to do. Like, we barely go back and forth and make too many changes, because it's just like, it's all the meat and potatoes is like right there. And then also you like will know when to give me just a little bit of freedom when I need it to like just go wild. And it's like this perfect marriage of like, that. So like that's the cool thing about like when I get a script from you, is that I know it's gonna have just the right amount of information I need, but like not too much. And then like, it's just, I don't know, it works for me. I don't know. We haven't really gone back and forth. Like, we have to like be like, Skottie, what the hell are you trying to say here? Like, what do you really want? Like, we haven't done that yet. This is like on issue 3 that I'm working on, right? So
no, it's been insanely smooth. Right? I think I told Derek the other day, like, I genuinely don't know how to write. He's going to start thinking that I don't like him because I don't know what to say anymore in my emails, because I'm just like, awesome again, fucking great. I've just cycled through like fucking great, fucking beautiful, fuck yeah. So yeah, it's. I think the process is just, it's a lot easier when you work with somebody who has your already kind of your sensibilities. I mean, Derek just gave Meg and I a little video pan around of his studio, and he has literally some of the same posters I have up on my wall. He's got original art from the same people I got original art from. So we already have a shorthand on that front. So yeah, it's a pretty smooth situation.
Cool. Let's see. Skottie, I think you've answered this one before, but how did your work on Marvel's Oz books give rise to I Hate Fairyland?
Oh yeah, I mean it was just, I was drawing one day, and I'd been working on it a couple of years. I had worked on it in total over 5 years, but somewhere about the couple of years in, I was reading the script, and I thought how I just was so annoyed by the characters that Dorothy had to talk to, and I just thought, like, why would she not be mad at these people? Like, never, like every time she asked them a question, they give her a riddle as an answer. So I just wondered, like, why I would be mad all the time. And then so the beginnings of Gert came from that. Was what if I did my version of Alice in Wonderland or Dorothy, who's always getting riddles for answers instead of just easy, like, should I go left or right? And then they're like, well, if by the crow flies, and you're just like, just say left or fucking right. Just do one of those. So that's kind of what Oz gave there.
Cool. Sorry, I wasn't ready with
Derek. What's one of your favorite projects of your own that you've done over the years?
Oh my God. I like, I can say something positive about each one for different reasons. Sure. One thing I will say, like The Witch of Wickerson, because I did it as an Inktober project, just the fact that I was able to nail a story in basically it was 6 weeks. I gave myself like 2 weeks of pre-production, and then just like hit it like a page a day, and I had to like draw it. Then like I would, because I draw digital, like for my pencils, print it out, ink it, scan it, color it, letter it, done. Like I was doing that every day for like October, and like I was it was insane. It was an insane, like feverish, like, I can't even like really, it felt like out of body experience like during that month. But like at the end of the month, I had a fucking book done. Like it was insane, right?
And that book's awesome.
Like I didn't even really have to make any edits. Like it just kind of all came together, and it was like that mad, like you got to get it done. You can't second guess yourself. You have to just go.
Right.
And like I think that sort of pressure, just like I don't know, I was able to capture like lightning in a bottle, I guess, during that time. And so I'm particularly proud of that, just for that accomplishment. So
that's great. There's a lot of people chiming in with their favorites of yours too. So
okay,
that's really cool.
Derek, had you worked with Jean before on coloring on any projects?
No, never. So that was just like a treat, like in itself.
Yeah, is it fun to see?
Yeah, like because I've only colored my own work, so it's like such.
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, like I've never had anyone else really. Like I mean, a little bit here and there. Like I did something for like Cat Ninja for Epic way back in the day, and I had a colorist on there. But yeah, like for the most part, like I really haven't had that experience. So like it's just fun to like be able to let go and let some other genius like just sort of like come in and like do work their magic. So like it's kind of a relief. Like I feel a little lazy, like, if I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm so used to like diving in on colors and stuff too. It almost feels like I'm not done when I hand these off, but I am, right?
Feeling a little spoiled, right?
Yeah, I am spoiled for sure.
So I know Skottie rarely has notes for Jean when things come back, but do you?
I think there was like I had like a couple little notes at the beginning, but like no, I just let him do his thing. He knows what he's doing, so like you gotta let him cook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's always been interesting for me because I have gotten into the habit of like just glancing at all the colors. And I let whoever's working on the book at the time be the like guide that ship on the notes before even if I see something, I'm like, well, let me see if they catch this. If there's something there, I'll say something. But if not, maybe I'm rethinking. But I don't even see problems ever anymore. I just like, again, I tell Jean the same thing. I'm like, I don't know what to say to you anymore, buddy. Just put up.
Do you send those same fucking great?
Fucking great, Ron.
You just have that like on like cut and paste.
Yep. But yeah, so there you go.
He's got a shortcut button for that.
Yeah. What else we got in here?
Let's see. You're not revealing any cover plans for issue 50 yet?
No, not yet. Too soon. It's pretty fun though.
Cannot wait. How do you guys stay active? Do you use standing desks, set timers to walk around?
Ooh, that's a pretty good question. I have a standing desk that I use once every 6 months, probably.
Yeah, whenever I have mine up, it's such a big deal. Everybody's like, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Well, you're so fit. Look at you in there. Look at the muscles. Yeah, every now and then I'll remember that it's standing, and be like, "Oh, I'll stand and do plots today." I enjoy it. I need to remember to do it more, but I walk every morning before, or try to every morning before work. So
you're great with that.
Yeah, thank you.
And then you go through these fun phases where I'll come in and there's like a bent weight bench delivered.
Yeah, I thought that I was actually going to put weights in here at one point. Did not do that.
You ended up selling that, I think.
I did, yes.
And then you got a standing treadmill, which is now at my house.
Yes, now your daughter's
now
using
my
it.
daughter uses.
Yeah, I thought not only was I going to have my standing desk, but I was going to walk on a desk treadmill, like a little folding one. And while
you write and draw,
and I didn't dislike it, but I didn't realize like it does sound like you're walking on a treadmill. So it's like, but yeah, so I do about between 3 and 5 miles in the morning now, and then want to start working out again. So that's how I stay active. But during the day, I will pop up. We all usually run out to lunch or whatever, do something. But and then there's anytime that we're brainstorming around here, it's usually all of us pacing. So I'm a pacer thinker or talker. So yeah, we can stay active here. What about you, Derek?
I just get fat. No, actually, so last year, like a year ago, I snapped my Achilles in half, trying to get back into shape. So I was laid up with
that sounds crazy painful.
Yeah, so I gained like even more weight over the last year. So what I did was I hired a personal trainer, and she came to my house today to work with me for the first time. So I'm actually like so sore. It was really hard for me to get prepared. But I need someone to kick my ass, like to get me back in gear, and having somebody like, basically just telling you what to do. And I'm not going to puss out. So I'd be like, I'm not going to say no. Like I'll say no to myself. If I'm just working out by myself, I get too tired. I'm like,
but with them, you'll say yes and then cry later.
Yeah. 100%. No. And I'm not going to be on the walk in the morning, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as my arm works, we're good.
I just started Pilates, which I never stopped talking about.
Yes, you do. You're
I do a lot of sitting too here. So I had to jump in on the active wagon too.
I try to get up like every hour if I can, like just so I'm not like sitting for too long. And as soon as I like finish like a page or something, I'll definitely get up and I'm gonna walk around, go pet my cats, like if anybody's around the house. But usually everybody's at school or work, and it's just me and my cats.
Right. Boom, boom.
No, Shane, I would not voice Gert in a cartoon. I don't think I'm a good match for that, but I've heard a couple names.
Yeah, I mean, I love. I think that Melissa McCarthy would be an awesome voice.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Yeah, there's a lot of I think Emma Stone would be good. Like she's got a gravelly voice. Yeah, I don't know. I really, really like Melissa McCarthy. Like she's got a good spastic, and she cusses great. Like her scene in, was it This Is 40, where she's yelling where she goes to the school and I can't remember.
What,
oh no,
well,
it was This Is 40. She was the mom of the kid and she was yelling at the principal. Anyway, well. That's a whole nother thing, but yeah, that made me feel like when she's just in there riffing with Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann against the principal. I will come over there,
Carol. Yeah, so funny.
We should get Seth's comment. How do you get those off?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. My current comment there.
There we go.
Forgot about that floating up there.
Yeah.
Here's a question about crowdfunding. Any thoughts to have crowdfunding for future projects or special projects and covers?
Many thoughts. Yeah. I don't think that I think I talked about it on Ink Pulp, so it's not a big secret, but definitely Kickstarter will probably be my next like big personal project that I write and draw is in the works, and that will probably 99.9% sure do that on Kickstarter first to get it out there and really just experiment with that platform, which I've been in love with for years. I've backed hundreds of projects on there. So I'm a big supporter and fan, and hopefully we can get you guys to come out. And Derek's fucking kicked ass several times.
Yeah, I've run 7 campaigns.
Yep. So
7.
I will be picking Derek's. We'll be picking.
Yeah, you come talk to me. I'll tell you all the mistakes I made.
How long ago was your first one?
2017.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, because I kickstarted like a bunch of my art books. So I've done more than 7. Maybe I've done 8. Yeah, I've done 8.
Crazy.
Yeah,
did you ever do fulfillment yourself, or did you?
Yeah, we do it all ourselves. My wife is the brains behind the operation. She does all the shipping for all the Kickstarter stuff, all my online store stuff.
Ooh, I cannot wait to get her number.
No, she's got it down to a science. So, we do it out of Canada, so there's like a few other challenges. Just like we use something called like Chit Chats, and it basically uses the U.S. Postal Service. It just ships it across the border and then goes through U.S. Postal Service. So it gives us some pretty good overseas rates and stuff like that.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yes, that we will be visiting that platform soon.
Yeah, I think you will absolutely crush on there. I have no doubt. And
thank you, sir.
We'll help you get there.
Awesome.
Prized piece of original art. Skottie, you got one?
It's a double spread from Generation X 25, maybe. There was one with the treehouse and Black Tom Cassidy, and I have the double spread of the treehouse, and it's just so cool. Like it was one of my favorite pages when I bought the issue, when I was just collecting it long before I drew comics. And the fact that I own it now is just wild to me. So that's probably my favorite one. What about you, Derek?
I'm gonna go say Eric Kennedy again because that was the first piece I ever got.
Oh, for real? Which one's the first one?
The Deadpool piece.
Oh, wow.
So that was the first bit of fan art like I'd ever had, like where we did an exchange. I gave him a really shitty drawing. He gave me this amazing thing, and so I got the good deal in that trade. But yeah, that just kind of like kicked off. Like that was like that was my first time going to like a show, because I never went to like many shows. I wasn't like really in the scene there for a bit. So,
Right.
I think this was like 2017, somewhere in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Skottie, how did you find, I'm going to change this to a more general question, but how do you find the voice of characters when you're picking up from another writer?
Well, that's a good question. Like when I took over, Rocket Raccoon he was in Guardians of the Galaxy books, which I had read, but he still wasn't the star of it. So, he was, we'd come in with quips and one-liners, but basically I just try to figure out the tone of whatever character it is, and then just think of it in how I translate that. Like, I mean, somebody like Deadpool was a little harder because at the time when I was writing Rocket Raccoon, there wasn't an actual physical voice to him. The movie wasn't out. So I didn't have, the Bradley Cooper voice of Rocket Raccoon in my head. Deadpool was definitely harder because, by the time I launched mine, the second movie, there was already both two movies. So it was hard to make sure that you didn't try to just sound like Ryan Reynolds for sure. But
you were writing that when you moved to Kansas City?
Uh-huh. Okay, the first issue came out like within months of me being here. Like I was like that when I first moved here. Yep. So I don't really have a science to it. It's just a feel, and then it also changes as you go, and it will change even from issue to issue depending on the mood or storyline. Like, it's going to change, but I just wing it and then hope that it works. So I never really know if it works until I hear from you guys. Somebody else? Did we get another winner?
Yeah. Oh, family medicine applicant. You I don't know what the name is, but you gotta send me your address to Skottie Young store at SkottieYoung.com.
I'm afraid.
Thanks for that question.
I'm afraid of what that address is going to be from an account like
family medicine applicant.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
It's to Bot Avenue at Bot Town Village, Spam City.
Let's see. Have you ever done a cover of a character that someone said, no way would that character do that? Like a cover rejected by Marvel. And then you used that idea for something else.
Oh, no. I've never, in all of my years, I've only ever had like under a handful of covers rejected. Two were early in my career, or one was really early in my career, and it just probably because I overdrew something, and I don't know, it wasn't great, but this doesn't really happen that often. The only time that I've got a cover rejected in the last, since I've like been doing all the covers at Marvel lately, was it was just a legal issue. It wasn't even that they didn't want the drawing or it didn't work. It was just the idea. It was Doctor Strange doing surgery, but he was playing operation, because the surgery of it, and he was a surgeon. So I had Hulk on in the game Operation, and you knew what that was, but I didn't say Operation. But Marvel was like, Hasbro is probably pretty litigious, and this might be.
It was so good too.
Yeah. So, but that was just that was just the name of the game, and not that. But I've just really never had anything rejected. And definitely, I mean, I can't even. Usually, any edits that I have are literally I got the color wrong or something. Like it's not. It's been a long time since I've been asked to change anything or rejected anything. So there, Derek, when you were taking on this job, was it like? Did you feel like? Because I know that if I was in your position, and I probably even said it when I was like, "Do you want to come on and do it?" Where you're like. You don't like you're so used to writing and drawing your own stuff What is the thought process in going like, oh, I'm going to make this call? Because I know that there's a couple books, we talked about this. There's a couple books that if you brought to me, I'd have a hard time being like, I only write my own stuff though, but God,
right.
I think I got to do this one.
You know what? I think that was the reason I ended up doing it, is because I think the thought in my head was like, yes, like, in which to surprise me, if I'm going to be honest, like, because like whenever anybody else had asked me, my answer in my head would have been no.
Right.
And so, like, I think that was the thing. It was just like, I'm like, there were certainly like, I had to have discussions with my wife. I'm like, is this the right move for us right now? Like, and like, this is an opportunity that like comes along like once in a lifetime, like, and my heart's saying, do it. Right. And I'm just like, you juggle around, you go like, okay, like, does this make sense? You're trying to like plan out things and so just honestly, it was not really like a big decision. Like, it was just more like, a little bit of, you're always a little scared going into something new because like a big shoes to fill here, like you and Brett, like, it's just like coming on to something like that, like where it's like you're walking in the footsteps of giants, right? Like it's intimidating, but I think that's the thing. Like sometimes like in life you're just like everything kind of works. Like I felt like I was in the place where I could do the book justice. Like, you know what I mean? Like this part of my career, if you had asked me like 5 years ago, I don't think I would have been there yet.
That totally makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I've been doing enough comic stuff now because I was away from comics for a long time. I felt like I was in a good enough groove that I could like take this on and not feel terrified.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. Well, yeah, I get it. I've always, there's a handful of characters or books that if you came to me and was like, hey, you want to do this? I'm writing it. I'd be like, well, I've made this hard choice in my life, but I need to do this. I need to write this off. I need to check this box off. And there's because a lot of that it's hard because I didn't grow up reading Spider-Man religiously or anything. Like mine were always more indie books, but yeah. So I totally get that. What else we got, Megan?
I'm looking. You guys send us some more questions. I'm scrolling through here. This is hard. It's hard to keep up with the comment field and talk and give you feedback. I'm still like a relative newbie to this. How many live streams have you and I done? 3 or 4? Not a ton.
Definitely more. We were definitely doing them more when the Substack first started.
Oh yeah.
And then we're getting ready for the whatnots and like we did a decent amount for a little bit. We're kind of were we trying to do them weekly for a hot minute or every other week? I feel like
and that lasted
one other week.
I think surely we were just trying like a monthly. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was something we did something try to regularly, but it didn't last too long.
All right.
Do you ever have fantasies about like having like a more regular YouTube channel? Like
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it's I'm constantly thinking about it and talking about it. My son is always like, yeah, when's it going to be another video, Dad? Like, because he loves YouTube. Yeah,
we've got a good space for it around here.
We've been talking about it a lot more lately. I had a conversation with Sean Crystal over at Ink Pulp.
Yeah,
and got some information on the equipment and stuff like that. But it really, and I talked to Kyle Strom about it a couple of weeks ago. I think the thing for me is always like overthinking what the premise is or what the construct of it is.
Right.
And what I realized is I just need to do what comes most naturally to me for YouTube content. And it's probably going to be something like what I do with my newsletters lately, which is just kind of pick a topic, talk for a few minutes about it. Like I plan on doing like more like 5-minute videos.
Okay.
5 to 8 minute videos where we just talk about a subject or whatever. And that's it. Instead of me just drawing and talking over a whole drawing or whatever, I feel like I want to figure out a way to use it in a different way in between those kind of videos. It's not like I'll never draw on there for sure.
Yeah. You know what I found is kind of missing from the comic space in general, and not really on YouTube is like tastemakers. Like now that kayfabe isn't around, like we're missing a lot of those like tastemakers, and I think that's
Right.
something you could do because you have a great eye for things. You could do a spotlight on something, or
Yeah.
I'd love to see something like that. Like, I mean, or anybody out there who's got like the chops to pull off something like that. Like, because I think the space needs that. Like
For sure.
like, and even like because I do a lot of indie books, and I know a lot of guys do indie books and stuff. And like the biggest challenge is like there's no indie spotlight really out there that's got a voice. Like back in the day, like Wizard magazine once in a while would like spotlight something that's kind of indie,
Right.
cool and underground, little punk. Like there's not really that go-to thing anymore to get that voice out there.
Right.
Right.
No, I think that's a really good idea when stuff pops up. It kind of goes back to that comic book reading thing where I wish I took in enough things to be able to review.
Right. Yeah.
I'm the one constantly seeking out the tastemaker, so I know what to look at.
Yeah, no, I think that's the thing, right? I crave it from someone else. I don't want to be the one.
Right.
I want someone else to like pick up that helm, right, or that hammer.
We got a new question there, Megan.
Yeah, let's see. With the Magnolia tribute in issue 42, are there any other characters from legendary artists you want to still parody?
Oh yeah, I mean I've said this a million times, but I grew up a Mad Magazine kid, so spoofs and parodies are like literally what life is about to me. So, and like Mad Magazine, you would never like take a run and parody something you don't love. It's where you're having fun with it. So, but I like to make sure that it's like definitely a spoof, like that when you guys read 42, we don't just make a character that kind of looks like a Hellboy inspired thing. Like we found a way to like be true to the nature of what that character and those things are in a really fun way, and Mad Magazine the hell out of it. Like it really feels that way. And also, with Gert in there. So it's fun to do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, there's you can go back and look at try to figure out which ones I've already parodied in, of different characters through the ages. So yeah, you'll definitely see some more spoofs happening. You can't not.
I don't even know what I Hate Fairyland would be without the Derek. How about you?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm open to like anything. I don't know. Nothing's really coming to the top of my head. I'm blanking.
Well, but that's the thing is, I think you know when you know it, right? When you're sitting there and you're
when it clicks, and like I think it would be fun to do like a weird Peter Pan thing or like some sort of Goonies like homage or like we both love Goonies like it's like I can imagine Gert like in a group of other children trying to get along like and solve like some like pirate adventure or something, right. Find a treasure and how that could just go sideways, like so there's just like there's so many good things to mine out there.
Yeah, Jared Hickman pointed out that my probably most glaring spoof parody character is Lord. I can't remember his name now, but it's like Loveth Love Lordeth or something.
Oh yeah,
but he's the Goblin King, the David Bowie Goblin King spoof. With the giant situation.
Codpiece.
Yeah,
I'm getting a lot of questions when our socks are coming. So you were on Jim on Ink Pole.
Oh right,
and you gave away our sock.
Oh, I know, but I was excited.
Yeah, these are going to be so cool.
This is the problem when you do these live streams. You just forget that you're not just sitting in a room talking with your friends.
Right.
And that you're opening up the gates to me getting 47 emails about socks. Socks should be here sometime in July. They're being produced right now. We have a couple pairs and another fun thing being made by.
Yeah.
So
that's really, we're pretty excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's other I Hate Fairyland merch coming like quickly down the pipeline.
Are we keeping that secret too?
It doesn't matter. You'll tell. Go ahead.
I'll keep it secret.
Okay.
In case we fuck it up.
Yeah. Let's see. Derek, do you go to many conventions in the States? I don't know.
I don't go to any in the States. It's always been like tricky for Canadian artists to kind of go over there and do it legit. And I've just always been afraid of getting turned away at the border, like, plan a big like event and then go down, then, suss out that I'm going to like sell some stuff or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. I'm like, it's not worth it. I'll just stick in Canada. If I ever get like invited like down there, like as a guest, like, and you don't have to like pay for stuff or whatever, like that'd be cool. But if it's like I have to like go there and like make my tables back and like make my flight and hotel, I got to bring merch.
Right.
So, that's kind of my game. So yeah, that's why I stick in Canada. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, Marka.
You come up to Canada. It's nice.
I know. We, same situation. It's a lot of logistics.
Yeah, a lot of logistics. To do what we do at conventions, there's no way for us to go and be like, oh, well, this is promotional material. Like,
No.
Like
I'm coming across the border with these 20 boxes. Right. Yeah.
Like I just did a show in Montreal, and that's in Canada, but I had to ship like 4 boxes of books out there. It was expensive. Like, and I had to make sure I make that back, and I did, luckily. But it's like it's always that risk of like when you get into something. So
absolutely.
This whole area back here was full of boxes earlier. I just shipped 20 over to Heroes, nice. Which we'll be at next week.
Yep.
Someone asked if we'll do more Skottie non-cons, and I think so. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Scuff came in to help us with that one too. But yeah, it's good to sign for those groups. We loved it.
Yeah, that was fun. And very easy.
That's because of my planning and organization.
Absolutely, it was, yes.
What do you want to be your legacy for all 3 of you? Ooh.
Megan, you start.
Oh, yes. God. I have jumped around a lot. If we're talking my legacy in this world, gosh, it's so deep, and I wasn't expecting to answer or go first.
I put you on the spot.
Derek's like, go. I'm not answering it. You do it.
I mean, it's definitely going to be having a spot in the hearts of the Skottie fans who've been here at the shop. I mean, I feel like I know a lot of these people. I know their kids' names, some of their addresses by heart. It's just, I just want all of them to know and to feel like this is like a true family operation here. Skottie's closest friends work here, and we care so much about what we do. We try to do everything with heart and nothing frivolous that we're not passionate about. And I mean, we've stumbled a couple times and right ourselves, but something like that.
Yeah.
Just
no pressure.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's hard for me to think. I remember somebody asking, like, how would I summarize my career? And I was like, I don't like about my career once. And I was like, I don't know. It's still going. Like, I always feel like I'm just here. It's so hard for me to think about what to leave behind or what I want. Because legacy is like, you being thought of everything. I do just want people to be, the main thing is just leave behind stories. Like, I don't necessarily need it to be about me, but I would just want the stories that I made to last. And that's really one of the big goals is I want to be one of those books. I want a kid to look at a book or be holding a book that I made, how I felt about the Neverending Story, or how I felt about Alice in Wonderland, or I Am Legend, or whatever. Like any book that I've read over the years that I will go back and reread and reread and reread. I want to be one of those. I want to make one of those for people. So if when I'm long gone, people are still talking about me like they think I'm still around, that'll be cool.
So yeah, I'm similar to you, Skottie, in that way. One of the inspirations I had when I started making my own books was Miyazaki, because he's got all those films, right? And and also like Tarantino. So they have like not that I'm ever going to be that level, but they have a body of work that they have now, right? And I think like leaving behind a nice body of work would be something that like, for my kids, like, and stuff when I'm long gone, it's like here, I'm leaving a piece of me in the world. Right. So I think that's what I think about when I think about my legacy.
Good answer. Okay, bye everybody.
Let's see. Derek, we've got a question about your drawing there.
Okay.
Is that an apple pie in jail?
No.
Can you say what that?
Don't tell them what it is.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but
Yeah.
it's not an apple pie.
That was.
Well, I was thinking like I don't care, but then I was like, oh no, that's like the get.
Yeah. No, that's why I was.
When he said there'd be spoilers, he's literally spoiling it.
The
But luckily, I don't think it's an easy.
I think out of context, it'll.
Yeah, there's no way. Like they thought
Let's
it was.
go with apple pie.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
Yeah,
keep
it's apple pie.
thing
Apple
going.
pie.
I love
Love apple pie.
That was a good question. Let's see. This is more a Skottie question. Is there a sequel to Me You Love in the Dark? Please.
So there is not one planned, but my famous thing that I made up. Nobody said this ever before me. I never say never.
Wow, that's poetic. You should coin that.
I know. I really don't like to say no or yes or what. My usually answer is if it's no at the moment, it's I don't know, because we did leave it open at the end to be reopened if we wanted to. So out of well, obviously Ain't No Grave can't go on past the end, but
That's not true. There's a whole generation.
never mind. You're right. So yeah, we always make sure that there's the doors left cracked open at the end of a series. We want you to feel like you got a whole story. We don't want to leave you hanging like you have to have more to be satisfied. But we like to leave me and whoever I'm working with. We love to leave the door cracked open at the end to see there's possibility. And Twig, there was, and we went on and are working on another one. Even Middle West, we definitely ended that series, but also had a pretty decent idea of what we would do if we ever revisited that world.
I have a question for Megan.
What?
Okay, here's my question.
Okay.
Does Skottie use you as a sounding board for story ideas?
Is that the
No, I'm gonna follow up in
Okay.
a second.
Oh, you're gonna follow up after the answer?
Yeah, after the answer.
way more than I expected he would.
And does it, like, being around Skottie, like writing stuff and doing things, do you ever have aspirations about writing anything yourself?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
Okay, yeah, just curious.
Yeah. I'm not a writer. I never really even enjoyed it. I do.
You might be, and you don't know it. That's just like, I mean, Skottie probably could speak to that too. Like, you know, and I can. Like, I didn't think I was a writer at any point in my life, and then all of a sudden I was.
Oh, really? That's cool. Yeah. I should try. I do like kind of pushing creativity around a little bit.
It's just because you're around so
not
much
in
creativity. Like, I'm just saying, because you're around so much creativity, I'm curious
Yeah.
if you get the itch ever, like, you know.
Well, she paints.
Skottie, do you ever get the inspiration to put together a spreadsheet?
Oh, I'm like, oh my God, look at her in there. I
want to pack up an
Excel spreadsheet. Fuck, I need to get on. That's so inspiring. No, I actually am like, thank you for doing this job. I don't know how you do it. I would have quit right after hired. But Megan does like watercolor. She paints.
Nice.
You've taken a couple different classes recently. You were doing cross stitch. Was that what was you were doing something for a bit?
Embroidery.
There you go, embroidery.
I was like, it's not cross stitching.
Yeah,
that's way more advanced.
Yeah, that and then cooking. So yeah, I
do love cooking. Is like my hobby.
And then John also has his. You know, he's a big wrestling, and he's an information guy. Like, if we need to know something, he's like a Scooby Doo. He goes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
John, he's also a baseball guy.
Oh, right.
John has every Major League Baseball hat. Well, actually, John keeps a little list I'm giving away in his office, John is our fulfillment manager. Most of you guys know John. So he's a big baseball guy. He just had a birthday and we gave him tickets to the Royals. But so I was looking at this list he has, and every single Major League Baseball team is crossed off except the Cards. And I said, John, do you have a Cardinals hat, St. Louis? And he goes, fuck the Cards. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
We all have our things that we talk about.
But yeah, I do pop out. Like if I have, like, I'll have a couple ideas for a cover gag, or I think the cool thing is we're all creative in different ways. And so as we start talking about things, that all of that starts to go in the pot. So, even when we are trying to decide what characters to do an exclusive for, John has great ideas. John and I sat and talked for 45 minutes about character ideas. Megan showed up to work and in 3 seconds threw out one that we were like, well, fuck yeah, why didn't you pick her, or whatever. So yeah, there's definitely sounding board to be like, is this dumb? Like, it's a lot of me going like, does this sound dumb?
Well, that's the thing. Like when you say an idea out loud is when you'll realize that makes sense or not. So you need someone there to sort of like see the reaction or like see a facial expression they make. And yeah, that does help.
Let's see. Maureen asks, I know you both draw, but what other mediums do you enjoy creating art in? Obviously you're writers.
Yeah.
I love making music. I don't do it almost at all anymore, but that was a big one for me for a long time. I would think I would love to be able to like sculpt or digital model sculpt or something like, I know it's still kind of in the artsy realm, but yeah, I don't know. I find that I love the statues and everything. That'd be cool to
do. Every time a new statue arrives, you're a little bit amazed that they got your style. So
it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Derek, is comics the only writing you do? What about like poetry or?
No, yeah, just comics. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a desire to do like prose or write movie scripts or TV scripts or anything like that. No.
Yeah,
pretty straight and narrow on the comics.
You nailed it.
I think we've
made it through everybody.
Wrapped up most of the.
All right. Well, everybody, you got a little bit longer to throw a question or two out there, and while we're waiting for a couple new questions before we bounce out, we'll just remind everybody that Derek's first issue of I Hate Fairyland, which is issue 41. Is out tomorrow in stores, online. Here, let's put that. How can I do it? Just slide it over. Did it.
Do you want me to tell you a rookie mistake I made?
Yeah.
When I went, so I got my comps and I went to TCAF and I sold them all and I forgot to keep copies for myself.
Oh,
have you ever done that before? I just threw them in the box because I was like, they came basically when I was like packing them.
We'll make sure that you get some.
No, that's all good. I think my local comic shop's gonna be upset.
That's hilarious.
That is funny as hell.
But you sold out of them. That's amazing.
I did. Yeah. No, they went quick, but it was just like, I was like, oh damn, I forgot to save them. I got home and I'm like, shit, I didn't put it aside.
That's funny. So 41 is out tomorrow. And so we'll give a little bit of the joke, because for those of you that have been reading the book all this time, the last issue that came out was issue 20 a couple months back, Brett's last issue, and this is 41. So the story behind that is my original series that I wrote and drew myself went 20 issues. And then I put the book on hold while I wrote a lot of other books and didn't know if I'd come back, and then relaunched in 2022, which was kind of right after post-COVID, and there was a big boom. And so, you always want to relaunch, because it had been gone a couple of years at that point. I thought we should relaunch it with the number one and just help get sales and help comic book shops sell them. But now that we're 20 issues in again, I was like, I heard Todd McFarlane on a podcast talking about how like there's not a ton of indie books that go to get to 50. Like you know,
It's a massive accomplishment.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I'm almost at 50, except I renumbered the fucking thing. But I was like, what book better could you make it a joke on the cover telling you exactly why we did it? So I said, fuck it, let's just make it 41. It'll be the 41st issue. And we really thought, I just want to, I told you flat out, I think it's cool to hit 50, and we've got some plans for the issue 50 that are going to be really awesome. But so yeah, we're back to legacy numbering, because that's cool shit that comic books can do that no other medium can do, which is literally change timeline in real life. But you guys are going to love Derek's art. Outside of this this stream and the book coming out tomorrow, I'll be sending out a newsletter tomorrow.
Oh, this is so good.
I'll be sending out a newsletter tomorrow to help remind everybody of the new issue out, where Derek and I interviewed each other for our newsletters, and we didn't know the questions that each other were going to ask. We came up with a list of questions on our own, and then sent them over, answered them without reading the other person's first. So what you get is literally us interviewing each other legit.
There's a couple of lineups there too, right? We lined up on a few.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of them was like, well, there we go. And then we realized, what was it? Was it Tool?
I think so, yeah.
Was it, or yeah, it was either Tool or I think it was a Tool situation. Anyway, that will be coming out in tomorrow's newsletter. So if you're not signed up for my newsletter or Derek's newsletter, absolutely go find that. It's you can go to ScottieYoung.com or go to ScottieYoung.substack.com. Sign up. Derek, what's your info on your site?
Just DerekLaufman.com. You'll find everything there. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Derek, are you going to be selling your pages?
I am. I'm not sure how or where just yet. But yeah, I am going to sell them. So yeah, we'll see. Cool. I'm going to pick Scottie's brain a little bit.
All right. We got any last minute ones there, Megan?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think that's a good wrap.
I think it is good, guys. That was this has been fun.
I didn't finish the page though. I'm a little disappointed in myself.
Wow.
Oh.
What, you didn't ink a whole page in just over an hour? What a loser. what an amateur. Yeah, it's been awesome. I've actually just been sitting here watching Derek ink.
I know. Trying to read questions, watch Derek ink, answer the questions. That's yeah. Focus.
Well, everybody, we appreciate you guys coming in. Derek, thanks for giving us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Some time tonight. We should definitely hop on some live streams of videos more, or just do private ones where we just talk shit about people and it's not on the internet.
We do that live. We'll do that live.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Happy
Megan,
Father's Day to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Weekend.
Derek, how many kids? You have kids, right?
Two kids. Two boys. 10 and 13.
10 and 13, not too.
Awesome.
That's around mine, almost 10 and 15.
Nice.
Megan's kids are. Yeah. So Megan, thank you for crushing it on the producerial situation over there.
Yeah, we'll see you guys at Heroes. We'll be at Terrificon in Connecticut later this summer. Super excited to be back there.
You can find me at Fan Expo in Canada in end of August.
Awesome.
Ooh, cool.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end this. It's always weird because you're just like, we're done, but we're still live.
Yeah,
and I have to literally hit off the thing. So, Derek, we'll talk to you for a minute after we get off. So you don't. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.